Because black people, if you really want to fix the problem, here's just 5 things that you should think about doing. Here's number 5. And if this doesn't apply to you, if you're not doing this, then it doesn't apply to you. I'm not talking about you. Here's number 5. Pull up your pants.
Here is the face of a man, not only who had a very disastrous career, but after given an opportunity to make things right, he blew it up again. This is Don Lemon. This is a tragic, sad story of an individual who is not thinking from cause to effect, an individual who is making decisions emotionally, an individual who is somewhat going back to dance to the tunes of the left rather than to think for himself. First of all, let's watch this video.
Hi everyone, Elon Musk is mad at me, and I just put out a statement about what happened between him, me, and the interview that he is apparently so upset about. But make no mistake about this. This is going to be my first episode of the Don Lemon Show this coming Monday, March 18th, so make sure you tune in. This does not change anything about the show except for my relationship with Elon and X, and there's a whole lot that went down, and I'm gonna tell you about in the coming days. I know, though, that many of you were not happy that I was doing this in the first place, and you told me so. I just want you to know that I did this deal because not only do I believe in free speech, but I believed that this was the best possible chance for the work that I'm doing to reach the largest amount of people. So speaking of free speech, right, I thought the first person interview, no brainer, Elon Musk, the man who calls himself a free speech absolutist. I asked him to do it. He willingly agreed to the interview. Throughout our conversation, I kept reiterating to him that although it was tense at times, I thought it was good for people to see and hear our exchange and that they would learn from our conversation, learn more about him, learn more about me. But apparently, free speech absolutism doesn't apply when it comes to questions about him from people like me. What did we talk about? Why is he so upset? Does he even have a reason to be upset? Make sure you watch it on Monday on YouTube and everywhere you listen to podcasts, and you can decide for yourself. You can even watch it on X because I'm still going to post it there, and I'm sure others will as well.
Okay, let's find out why you was so upset since you have asked the question. This is part of the video. So this man, after he did this interview, went back to CNN where he had gotten fired from to even lambast Elon Musk even more. Think about it. Your career has been blown. You went on the X platform owned by Elon Musk. Your first show, you get an interview with your boss who's actually made a million-something dollar deals with you to give you a platform where you can do exceptionally well. On that first interview, you blew everything up. And then you went back to the same place that fired you to speak about it as if you did something positive. You interviewed your boss and messed everything up. You can't even keep a job. And now you're talking about it like it's something good. I'm like, come on, man.
Do you believe that X and you have some responsibility to moderate hate speech on the platform? That you wouldn't have to answer these questions from reporters about the Great Replacement Theory as it relates to Democrats?
I don't have to answer these questions.
The Great Replacement Theory as it relates to Jewish people. Do you think that?
I don't have to answer questions from reporters. Don, the only reason I'm doing this interview is because you're on the X platform and you asked for it. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I would not do this interview.
So you don't think? Do you think that you wouldn't get in trouble or you wouldn't be criticized for these things?
I'm criticized constantly. I could care less.
Illuminating in so many ways. All right, I have two things I want to ask you about that, Don. First, the Great Replacement Theory. Right. As you bring it up, he has tweeted a tweet he shared: increasing illegals boost Dem voting power, causing them to recruit more. Mm-hmm. If Dems win President, House, and Senate, they'll grant citizenship to all illegals, and America will become a permanent one-party deep socialist state. Right? He has gone there directly. How much does he stand by these ideas?
Well, he didn't quite seem to understand that he did, originally he did that with Jewish people, sort of a Great Replacement Theory thing that he did with Jewish people, and he got in trouble and he had to go to Auschwitz and answer questions and apologize and go with Ben Shapiro. But he doesn't understand that sort of rhetoric that he talks about, the Great Replacement Theory and migrant invasion, that's what radicalized shooters use in their manifestos, those exact words. The people who go and shoot up people, whether they be Latino people who live in Texas or black people who are in a supermarket in Buffalo, or Jewish people who are worshiping, those people use the same rhetoric, that they are tropes, that they're either racist for Latinos or black people or for Jewish people. And I wanted to know if he felt any responsibility as someone who has one of the largest social media and information platforms in the world.
Quarter billion people.
A quarter billion people. I think it's 455 or 500 million users a week. And it doesn't seem that he feels that he has any responsibility with that, because he seemed really averse to facts. That facts did not matter to him. It didn't matter that he retweeted things that were offensive to people. And this the whole idea of what I was asking him about, was it offensive, and did he feel that his platform should have better moderation?
You know, Don Lemon is completely out of his mind. The first interview, you have an opportunity to interview your boss who just gave you a deal. You're trying to revive your dead career. Very few people watch your show. Instead of starting to get leverage, do the type of stuff that Tucker Carlson does. Just set the stage and start building and get the trust of the people. You know, get your feet in the water, get your foot in the door, show that you are different, show that you're not so much leaning to the left too far, you're not too far to the right, you're a common sense kind of guy, you can stand in the middle and speak the truth and get an audience. Instead of doing that, the man went on to talk to Elon Musk about drugs, great replacement theory, content moderation. Elon is already under all type of pressure. But remember, he's your boss. He just gave you a deal. You just destroyed yourself. And then you went back to the same old channel that fired you. And you talking about it like you did something good. Do you know how delusional you gotta be? Elon Musk had this to say. His approach was basically just CNN, but on social media, which doesn't work, as evidenced by the fact that CNN is dying. Facts. And instead of being the real Don Lemon, it was really just Jeff Zucker talking through Don, so lacked authenticity. All this said, Lemon, Zucker, or of course, welcome to build their viewership on the platform along with everyone else. So he's not canceling your show. As he went on to say in the Washington Post, oh, he's canceling my show. No, he's canceling the deal that he had with you because you just messed up. You just messed up. Here is Megyn Kelly. And I think this is a prime example of an individual who actually did it right. She got fired and went and started a platform, and she's successful. Don Lemon had the same opportunity. But we're watching the man because of the fact that he keeps on doing the very thing that the left wants him to do, behaving like a snake. A man that cannot be trusted. A man was given opportunities, and yet he blows it wide open before the world. And then he has the audacity to go back to the same network that fired him and speak about it like he did something good. Do you know how crazy you got to be in your thinking?
I will give it to Bill O'Reilly, who I saw a clip of him this morning saying, don't interview your boss. That is the lesson that came out of this hot mess of exchange between Don and Elon, because Elon gave Don an interview to launch on his first show. And I will say Don Lemon behaved like an asshole who was not grateful to Elon Musk for resurrecting his career. And O'Reilly's right. It's very hard for Don Lemon in this position to both be a good journalist and be a good employee. I will give it to...
You know, when I first heard about Don Lemon coming to X, I had some type of hope. But I tell you what, that hope has been shattered today. I was hoping Don Lemon will be somewhat common sense Don Lemon of old. You know, when Don Lemon used to speak like this is what I was looking for. I kind of saw when Don Lemon made the announcement, I'm going to X, and I was thinking to myself, I remember I was in my living room folding clothes and everything, and I'm like, oh, that's a good thing. I mean, It's kind of a good thing. He's got fired. Now he's going to take a middle position. He's not going to be so much to the left. Maybe he's going to be like the old Don Lemon. Oh, boy. Has he proven me wrong? Now, look at this. This is how he used to talk. And if Don Lemon had taken this position right there, the world will respect him. But what he just did to Elon Musk destroyed his credibility forever. Even if that show is on X, on Twitter, on X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, other platforms. Listen, man, who watches Don Lemon, really, in reality? Who really spend time listening to this guy? I know I don't. But he just messed his entire opportunity. He just made a mess of himself in front of the entire world. Look at that. This is how he used to talk.
Really want to fix the... Because black people, if you really want to fix the problem, here's just 5 things that you should think about doing. Here's number 5. And if this doesn't apply to you, if you're not doing this, then it doesn't apply to you. I'm not talking about you. Here's number 5. Pull up your pants. Walking around with your ass and your underwear showing is not okay. In fact, it comes from prison when they take away belts from the prisoner so that they can't make a weapon. And then it evolved into which role a prisoner would have during male-on-male prison sex. The one with the really low pants is a submissive one. You get my point? Number 4 now is the N-word. By promoting the use of that word when it's not germane to the conversation, have you ever considered that you may just be perpetuating the stereotype the massa intended, acting like a nigger? Now, number 3, respect where you live. Start small by not dropping trash, littering in your own communities. I've lived in several predominantly white neighborhoods in my life. I rarely, if ever, witness people littering. I live in Harlem now. It's an historically black neighborhood. Every single day I see adults and children dropping their trash on the ground when a garbage can is just feet away. Just being honest here. Number 2, finish school. You want to break the cycle of poverty? Stop telling kids they're acting white because they go to school or they speak proper English. A high school dropout makes on average $19,000 a year. A high school graduate makes $28,000 a year. A college graduate makes $51,000 a year. Over the course of a career, a college grad will make nearly $1 million more than a high school graduate. That's a lot of money. And number 1, and probably the most important, just because you can have a baby, it doesn't mean you should, especially without planning for one or getting married first. More than 72% of children in the African American community are born out of wedlock. That means absent fathers. And the studies show that lack of a male role model is an express train right to prison. And the cycle continues.
Wow. If this was what he brought to the X platform, I will watch him. I will say, there goes a man with some common sense, man. He's speaking some truth. I don't care so much if you are on the right or on the left. What I care is the truth that's coming out of your mouth. You're not being partial in your conviction. You're not standing for one group and denies another. You stand for truth and righteousness. You call out the evildoers of our society and you hold people accountable. I would respect you. Oh, he couldn't do that. In the scripture, the Bible speaks of men that reflects the character of Don Lemon in this way. It's of somebody called, the Bible refers to as a foolish man. And the way God speaks about him, God says his own iniquity shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sins. He shall die without instruction. In the greatness of his folly shall he go astray. This is the man who cannot run away from himself. The man, every time he takes a step forward, he takes 3 steps back because his own behaviors are holding him back from success. That's what you're looking at. He is held back. He's being held back by the cords of his sins. The same practices that didn't work for him in the past, he's still using today in the hope of starting something successful on a platform. This is what you refer to as a foolish man. And the sad reality is, the Bible says they don't take instruction. Instead of looking at the situation and say, man, look what I did to Elon Musk, I should apologize, and not put that on the platform. Nope. He put it on the platform. Nope. He went back to his old employer to talk about it as if this was a positive thing. In the greatness of his folly shall he go astray. What's going to happen to men like this? Soon and very soon, you won't hear about them anymore. He will go astray. He will fade in the background. Nobody's gonna care. It's truth, man. And again, the Bible is on point about the attitude of foolish man who doesn't know how to think from cause to effect. And there goes a man who just destroyed his career publicly before the eyes of the majority, and yet is of the conviction that he did something good. What a sad reality. Anyway, friends, thank you for listening. Share your thought and perspective with me. What do you think about this video? What do you think about Don Lemon? Don Lemon needs help. Serious help and serious prayer indeed. Sad to listen to, man. But again, you know what?
Elon Musk is mad at me.
Only a fool learns from his own mistake. The wise man learn from the mistakes of others. Oh yeah, I'm learning from your mistakes, Don Lemon. I'm learning from your mistake. Anyway, have a good one.